Okay, so my first thing I'm going to do is decide where I want to draw my first shape, and in this case I think I want to draw my first shape in the first quadrant, so I'm going to draw kind of a parallelogram. Here is going to be the vertices of my parallelogram. I'm going to connect the dots, and you would probably want to use a ruler to make those super straight, and I'm going to shade inside of here. So this is my first region, so I'm going to call this region number 1. So that's my first shaded region, and now I need to come up with the equations of each of these lines. So I'm going to outline it in a different color to make sure we can see them. So I need to come up with the equations for those lines, and I'm going to put those equations in the table that looks like this. So for this table, I'm going to call it number 1, region 1, and I'm going to have 4 inequalities, because I had 4 lines on my first region, so I have 4 inequalities. So if I go back and look, let's do the horizontal lines first, because that's usually the easiest lines to come up with. So this line right here, if it were in fact to be a complete line, which I know it's not, but if it were in fact to be a complete line, it would be x is, I'm sorry, not x, y is greater than or equal to 15. So I know it's greater than because it's shaded above the line. I know it's 15 because that's where it crossed the y-axis. So I'm going to go over to my right here, and I'm going to do y is greater than or equal to 15. Then I have to decide from where to where. So from 5 to 10. Okay. So then I'm going to come back here and say that I want that line from 5 to 10. So when x is 5 all the way through to x is 10, I want that line. So then let's do another one. Let's do the other horizontal line. This one is y is greater than or equal to 20. So I'm going to go back over here and do y is greater than or equal to 20. Okay, now where is that from? That's from 10 to 15. So right here I do from 10 to 15. Okay, then this line right here, I can do a couple of different things. I can extend it all the way down and find the y-intercept if I want to do it that way, you know, and find the equation of that whole line if it's an easy one, which in this case it is. The y-intercept would be 10 and the slope is 1, so it would be y is, oh, y'all didn't, no one said anything out loud a while ago. This should have been less than, not greater than, because I shaded underneath. Let's fix that real quick. Right here, less than. So one more time, this was greater than, and this one's less than because I shaded below it. Okay, so back to this line. This line is going to be y is less than or equal to x plus 10, because this line right here is x plus 10, and I'm shading underneath it, so it's less than. Okay. The other way I could do it for this line right here, I could find 2 points, and if I find 2 points, how would I use my calculator to find the line? Stat. So we can use stat in our calculator. So in this case, I have the point 15, 20, and I have the point 10, 15. So I could put both of those in the stat edit in the calculator. So I'm going to do that. If I put those in stat edit, stat calc 4, enter, then my equation this time would be y is, now is this one going to be less than or greater than? This one's going to be greater than because it's shading above the line, so y is greater than or equal to x, hold on, it says reconnecting. Y is greater than or equal to x plus 5. Okay, so if I go back over here, I have y is less than or equal to x plus 10, and y is greater than or equal to x plus 5, and then I need to see the domain for those lines. So this one is from 5 to 10, and the other one is from 10 to 15. So this one is also from 5 to 10, and this one is also from 10 to 15. Okay, now, for your actual project, you're probably going to need to do two drafts. So this one would be the one that I would call your draft, if I could spell it. Draft. So I'd call that one your draft copy, where you have all your extra lines and you've written all of your important parts. For your actual real copy, I would want it to look, let's see, let's clean this page off. And if we were going to do your actual, like for real copy, I would say it would need to look like this. So here was our first dot, and here, and here, and here, and then you need a straight edge. In this case, I have this really cool little line maker. So you would connect all your dots with a very straight line, and then you would need to get colors or map colors, and you would need to color this in fully and completely. So that would, so that would look like a piece of actual artwork. So let's pretend that I could color that in fully. I probably could. It would just take a while. We could talk amongst ourselves while I'm coloring. So for your actual real project you turn in, it needs to be very neat. It needs to have accurate equations and accurate inequalities and domains. You have to have at least 3 shaded regions, so at least 3 of these. You have to have at least 8 lines total, and no more than half of your lines can be horizontal or vertical. So in this case, how many lines were horizontal and vertical? 2. How many lines did I have that had a slope and a y-intercept? 2. So I'm already half and half. Okay, so I already have 4 out of my 8 lines. Now, obviously, if you want a better grade, should you have more than 8 lines? Should you have more intricate, pretty artwork? Okay, don't draw any shapes you don't know the equations to. So don't draw a circle and just leave it because it's pretty. Okay, if you don't know the equation to the circle, then don't draw the circle. So you need to just do shapes, and now they can intersect, and you could color different color, like a stained glass window. They can touch each other, they can intersect. The more lines you do, the more creative your artwork, the better your grade's going to be. But don't do things that you don't yet know the equations to. If you want to figure it out, that's great. But you could do other inequalities. So, like, if you wanted to do, if you knew the equation to a parabola that looked like this, and you shaded underneath it, that would be fine, if you could figure that out. But I'm not going to tell it to you. So, otherwise, just do straight lines. Okay? So, that's how we need to do our project, and have a good time. Good luck.